Our objective is to transform raw butternut squash into perfectly tender, golden, honey caramelized cubes that serve as the foundation for a warm autumn salad. Achieving this requires avoiding two common failure states: the mushy, pale texture of steamed squash and the bitter, scorched flavor of burnt honey. We prevent these by managing three specific systems: precise heat control, the spatial arrangement of the cubes on the pan, and strict regulation of our sugar inputs. To begin, you'll need a single small butternut squash, peeled and cubed, along with a standard baking sheet and parchment paper. Adhering to this roasting methodology produces a versatile structural component, allowing you to engineer a balanced, complex meal in under 20 minutes. Step 1 is establishing the roasting environment. Set the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. This temperature is high enough to trigger caramelization without immediately incinerating the honey. You must line the baking sheet with parchment paper. Without this barrier, the honey sugars will chemically bond to the metal pan as they heat, making the squash impossible to remove intact. We have to be precise with our ratios. For the initial coating, use 1 tablespoon of honey, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt, and pepper. If you use the entire recipe's allocation now, you create a zero balance error for the dressing phase and ensure the squash burns. Toss the cubes thoroughly until oil and honey create a uniform, shiny viscosity across every surface. This mathematical division of ingredients maintains a safe roasting environment while reserving the components needed for the final flavor profile. Transfer the coated squash to the baking sheet, spreading the cubes to utilize the entire surface. Every individual cube must remain in a single layer, with visible empty space between it and its neighbor. This spacing dictates the thermodynamics of the pan. Proper gaps allow heat vectors to circulate, whereas clustering traps moisture vapor. When trapped, the squash steams rather than roasts, preventing caramelization and leaving the cubes mushy and structurally unstable. Halfway through the roasting process, pull the pan from the oven to flip the cubes. Look for rich, dark browning on the underside of each piece. This is your primary visual indicator that the sugars are caramelizing correctly. Controlling the physical spacing and executing this midway flip determines whether your sugars achieve a deep caramel or a disastrous scorch. Use the downtime while the squash finishes roasting to construct the vinaigrette. Begin with the acidic and aromatic base: 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and 1 minced shallot. Now integrate the reserved liquid assets: the remaining 3 tablespoons of honey and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Rapid, continuous whisking provides the kinetic energy that physically binds these disparate liquids into a unified, stable emulsion. This system uses the same core components of honey and oil, but manipulates them through acidity to create a sharp contrast to the roasted squash. The squash is ready when the cubes offer zero resistance to a fork, and the edges have turned deeply dark. Combine the warm squash with 5 cups of baby arugula immediately. The residual heat will slightly wilt the greens, integrating the flavors. Add half a cup of toasted chopped pecans for texture, and half a cup of crumbled goat cheese for fat and creaminess. Drizzle the honey mustard emulsion over the assembled ingredients. For meal prep, both the roasted squash and the emulsion hold their integrity in the fridge for several days. Adding farro or lentils will increase the caloric density for a heartier meal. Mastering these variables elevates a basic vegetable into a robust, repeatable culinary system.